Hi friend, in this video we will be discussing about exception handling in PowerShell. So let us start the video. Here first of all we will understand what is exception. So exception is nothing but an error or any unexpected result which occurs while executing any PowerShell script. And in PowerShell basically there are two types of exceptions. First is terminating exception and the second is non-terminating exception. And what is the difference between these two, terminating exception and non-terminating exception? So when we get the terminating exception while executing the PowerShell script, it stops the script execution. While when we get the non-terminating exception, it allows PowerShell to continue, means the error will be written on the screen or the shell where we are executing PowerShell script, and script will execute further. It will not stop. And we cannot catch any non-terminating exception in normal circumstances. But if we want to catch the non-terminating exception, first we will have to convert it into terminating exception, then it will be caught. And how we can convert any non-terminating exception to terminating exception? So in PowerShell there is one parameter called error action. So this is common parameter. We have to use this parameter in any of the command, and we have to pass the parameter stop. So whenever any non-terminating exception occurred, then execution will stop. Means non-terminating exception will be converted to terminating exception. And how we can catch any terminating exception? So we have to use these things. We have to use try, catch and finally blocks to handle any terminating error occurred in PowerShell script. There is one more concept in PowerShell called trap statement. So we can also use trap statement to handle any terminating error. In this slide we will understand the syntax of try, catch and finally. So here you are seeing I have used three different lines, each for one try, catch and finally. So when we write try, catch and finally, we have to follow this order only. First we have to write try block, then we have to write catch block, then we have to write finally block. And we can write statement list enclosed in bracket for each of these statements. We can write it for try, we can write it for catch and we can write it for finally. In catch we have one more option. We have option to specify the error types, but this is optional. Either we can use this or we can just write the statement list enclosed in bracket. And now we will understand about each of these statements in detail. So first when we discuss about try block, so it is try keyword followed by statement list in braces, as I have told here. One try block can contain either 0 or more catch block and 0 or 1 finally block. So here either we can write multiple catch block or we can simply write finally block. We can also write only catch block or finally block. But when we are writing catch or finally block, then we have to write at least one catch block or one finally block. Means at least one of these two should come when we write the try block. And while execution, if any error or exception occurred in try block, then error object will be passed to appropriate catch block. And now we will understand about catch block. So here as I have told that catch block is followed by an optional list of error type specifications. So this is the optional error type specification. Either we can use it or ignore it. And after that statement list enclosed in bracket. So this is the syntax of catch block. Catch block can also specify one or more error types. So either we can write single catch block for one error type, or within single catch block we can write multiple error types, or we can also write multiple catch blocks each for one error type. Here you can see a try statement can include multiple catch blocks for different specified error types. And if we specify any error type in catch block, so that particular catch block only will handle that type of error. And if we don't specify the error type here, then catch block will handle any type of error occurred in try block. And now we will understand about finally block. So this is followed by statement list in braces. So first we have to write finally keyword, then we can write the statement list in bracket. And one more feature of finally block is that it will run regardless of whether try block encounters a terminating error. Means whether any error occurred or it ran successfully, in both the condition finally block will be executed. If we press Ctrl C or we have written exit keyword in catch block, so in that condition also statement list within finally block will be executed. And finally block is used mostly after try and catch block to free resources used by a script. For example, if we have used any connection, database connection, or any other resources which needs to be cleaned after the script execution, then we can write those logics in finally block. So this is how we can use try, catch and finally block, and we can handle any terminating exception. Here we will understand more about try, catch and finally blocks through one example. This is try, catch and finally example, and in this one, in first line I have used preference variable. I have assigned value stop to this preference variable error action preference. So this is equivalent to hyphen error action common variable. So if we use that one, we will have to use for each of these command. But when we use the error action preference variable, so we don't need to write for each of the commands. Declaring in starting only will be enough, and it will be used for all these commands. And if any non-terminating error occurred for any of these commands, then execution will stop. Means those non-terminating error will become terminating error. So here you can see I have used try block, and after that I have used three different catch blocks, and at last I have used finally blocks. In the first catch block I have specified exception item not found. So if any item is not found, then this catch block will be executed. In the next catch block I have used ping exception. In this one, if ping failed, then this block will be executed. And in the third and last catch block I have not specified any exception type, and this block will be executed if none of these two exception type matches. And at last I have used finally block. So this block will be executed whether any exception occurred or it ran successfully. So first time we will be executing this script, and we will see what output we are getting. So if I execute this one, you will be seeing it ran successfully. First we have got output of this command get process dcv2, and after that we are seeing finally block output. Means first try block got executed and it ran successfully, so the control straight away goes to finally block, and finally block got executed. And in case if I change this process name, if I rename 2 to 1 here, and if I execute once again, then we will see we are getting different output. So if I execute this one, so this time you are seeing we have got different error. So this try block did not executed successfully. We have got exception in this block. So if we got any exception in this block, so the error object try to match the error type with these two. Since it did not match with these two exceptions, so last catch block got executed. So if we specify any exception type, so the particular catch block will be executed. And if we don't specify the exception type, it will be executed for all type of exception. So that is the reason this block got executed. And whatever things I had written here, so those got printed on the screen. And after that finally block also got executed, and whatever I had written in finally block, that also got printed on the screen. So we are seeing here that finally block got executed in both the case. In first case when our command ran successfully, and second case when we got exception. And now we will see, if I enable this line and comment this line, then what output we will be getting. So if I execute this time, you will see here we have got item not found exception here. So this line gives us not found exception, which we have specified here. So that is the reason this catch block will be executed. And in case if I comment this one and I enable the third line, so this time you will be seeing we will be getting different exception. So if I execute this time, you will see we have got ping exception. Since we had specified here ping exception in catch block, so that is the reason this matched here, and whatever things we had written, that got printed on the screen. So this is how we have seen, if any exception matches, then particular catch block executed, or if any exception is not matches, then it comes to catch block where we have not specified any exception. And finally block runs in both the cases, in success case also and in exception case also. And we have used here error action preference to convert any non-terminating error into terminating error or exception. So now let's move to next part of this topic. So here we have come to end of this topic, and we have learned about exceptions. We have learned what are exceptions. We have also seen try, catch and finally block syntax, and we have learned in detail about each of these blocks. And at last we have seen one example, and we have seen how it is handled if any exception occurred in PowerShell script. So I hope this was helpful to you, and that's all in today's video.